All right, guys. So in this video, we're going to cover how to become a more talkative person. How do you start developing the confidence to actually become someone that can just talk in any situation around anyone and not get stuck up on what am I going to say or how do I get a word in amongst all these other people? And this is really important because you really have to be able to get your word in any group conversation. If you can't, then you will basically just be left behind. The conversation will keep moving on, and you will not get the ability to influence and lead. And this will honestly cost you in your career. It'll cost you friendships because people just won't remember to even be your friend. It's a very important skill, and it's something that every successful leader and business owner, they all have this ability just to be super talkative. So how do you do it? Like, how do you even start? Well, the first thing is you have to be willing to just even talk a lot to one person. So if you're not talkative with one person, like on a one-on-one conversation, how are you supposed to be talkative in a group? How are you supposed to be talkative in a meeting with 5 clients if you can hardly get a word in with one person, right? The same way, if you want to get better at playing basketball, you play basketball with someone who's a little bit better than you. If you want to get more talkative, you talk to someone who's more talkative than you. So you probably have a friend or a family member who is more talkative than you, because if you were a very talkative person, you wouldn't be watching this video. And you can give them a call, ask them how they're doing. They'll probably actually love it that you're calling them and asking them how they're doing, because most people don't even get those calls anymore because everyone's so antisocial now. But this is your advantage. This is exactly where, as we are trying to get better at being more talkative, and I'm doing this too myself, like I am also on this journey of just becoming a more talkative and influential person. If you can talk to someone who's more talkative than you will get two benefits from it. The first one is that since they are more talkative than you, they're going to carry the convo for the most part. So you don't have to worry about it going stale or dry or boring, because there's not much learning experience in having to drag a conversation. Really, you've probably your whole life, I mean, you've been speaking whatever language, English, since you were born, right? And it's not like just speaking with people, with everyone, has gotten you that much results. What really gets you results is speaking with people who are a little bit more talkative than you. So let them lead the conversation and just listen and follow along and come along for the ride. And this will let you get the reps in of just talking. And the second benefit is, aside from them leading the convo, is that you can actually see what it is they're doing, how they break the ice. I mean, we really are creatures that just learn from each other. That's the basis of how all knowledge works, is you learned it from someone else. I mean, if we had to start from the beginning, imagine if we had to reinvent fire every time you're born. It doesn't, the fact that we can learn knowledge from others is our greatest gift. So use it. Talk to people who are more talkative than you, and you will actually pick up things that they're doing. Like, oh, whenever the conversation goes dry, they ask about if I'm doing anything for the weekend, or whenever the conversation gets a little bit kind of dark, they throw in something fun or funny. I mean, you'll just pick this up as you talk to more and more talkative people, and really just focus on people who are more talkative than you. If you want to improve on this, try not to talk to people who are not that talkative, because you're just gonna start going their direction. And I used to have this problem too. I have a friend group, especially like in my earlier years. Most of them were engineers, and these guys are just not that talkative. Being around them made me not talkative, and I had to shake that. It took me some years to shake it, but then I got around with different friends who were just extremely talkative, extremely outgoing, and then guess what? Within like 6 months to a year of hanging out with them, I was now the type to just walk up to a random group of 10 people and break the ice and start a conversation. And it's just because of the people I'm around. And this is the same for you. As you change the people you're around, you will become more like this. So spend time with people who are more talkative and get the reps in on just talking one-on-one to them. You will get very comfortable talking one-on-one to people who are talkative, getting a lot of words out, so that naturally when you go into that group kind of setting, it'll be much easier, because really all a group is, and this is true whether you're talking to one person or 1,000 people, you're really only talking and being heard by one person at a time. Because remember, like, you're not actually talking to 1,000. You're talking to one. You're having 1,000 one-on-one interactions. Think about it from you're watching this video right now, but me, I could be talking to 100 people, 1,000 people. I don't know how many people are going to see this. 10,000. I have no idea. But in my case, I'm just talking to you directly, and you're just hearing me directly, right? It's a one-on-one conversation. The same thing when you're in a group. So to get better at speaking in groups, you have to get better at speaking in one-on-one conversations. And then just think to yourself that while you're in this group or giving a public speaking, a seminar, or a client meeting, just remember that those are all just individual people there, and you're talking to individual people. So apply the same things you would do in a one-on-one conversation. Actively listen. If you actively listen, it's the cheat code to any conversation. Like literally, as you're listening to people, you will have things popping up in your mind, and whatever pops up in your mind, say it. It's that easy to come up. You'll never run out of things to say as long as you're actively listening. If you're half listening, half not, then it's going to be much harder to think of things to say and actually interject and get your voice in. But what's half listening, half not? If you are sitting there and thinking in your head, okay, what's a smart thing for me to say? When's the right time for me to say what I was thinking? How am I going to interject this one point I've been meaning to interject? As you're thinking that, are you truly actively listening? Like with 100%? No, of course not. And that's normal. I mean, we do this all the time. Closer you keep your focus on you, the less you're going to be able to actually be in the convo. So just jump all that and actively listen. Whoever's talking, listen to the words they're saying, the word choice, the expressions that they're using, the vibe, all of this stuff. Just pay attention to all of that, and then you will naturally have questions or thoughts or statements. Like as you're listening to me right now, you probably have something coming across your mind, right? Maybe some sort of thought or statement, or maybe something about me, good or bad. Doesn't matter, right? Because you're thinking about something if you're actively listening. And if you're listening to this while scrolling on another tab, or that's a little bit different, right? You're not going to have the same kind of thoughts about it. You're just kind of passively listening, as if you're just driving home from work and listening to something on the radio, which is fine. But we're talking here about getting good at talking in group conversations, speaking in front of others and influencing and actually driving conversations in the direction that we want them to go. And that's really the most important part of all this, is that we want to influence conversations in the direction that we want them to go. If it's a sales conversation, we want to lead that conversation to a buy, or at least a deal, some sort of solution, kind of your goals. So we have to interject, we have to talk more. It's very important. So by talking more to one-on-one people, you just apply this same thing to a group conversation. The challenge here comes when you're in a group conversation is that you don't have as much time to interject into a conversation because there's multiple people and everyone's fighting for the floor time. So you have to learn to fight this. I'll give you an example. Just the other day, I was in a meeting and I was actually driving. So I was in the meeting while I'm driving, and I'm trying to get my word in, but I'm also driving, so I'm not actively listening. But I had like a few things I had to cover in that meeting. It was about 10 people. And the moment one person would be done talking, the next person would immediately, because everyone's holding their breath, they're waiting to jump in, and they would immediately jump in. And I was having so much trouble getting a word in because I was also driving and just totally not paying attention to the meeting in the full sense of it. But this is exactly why, if you're actively listening, it'll make it much easier. But then as long as you have that awareness of, okay, I have only like 1 second to get, after one person is done talking, to get what I'm saying in before someone else starts jumping in and talking. So you have to use that to your advantage. And the moment someone was done talking, I just said, you know what, I have to change the subject right now and talk about what it is. And I just halted the conversation. I used that 1 second. I walked in there. I jumped in there and I just completely gave my whole thoughts. And then as I jumped in and kind of changed the direction of the meeting, that made it way easier to actually talk because now I'm leading the conversation. But you have to remember that you literally only have like 1 or 2 seconds to get your. So do not sit on your thoughts. The more you like sit on your thoughts or think about saying the perfect thing, you're just gonna miss the window to talk. And that's in group conversations where people are actively trying to get words in, all stepping at each other. So you have to remember that you literally only have 1 second. So say the wrong thing and be corrected better than not saying anything. If you don't say anything, you're completely forgettable. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. It's much better. Look at people. I mean, you have countless examples of people that are celebrities and famous that are famous for the wrong thing. But they came in, they got in the right time, and they got the attention. And at the end of the day, it's better to be known, even in your business, even in your career. It's better to be known as someone who's constantly talking in the calls or meetings or basically leading than someone who's just sitting on the back burner. Because when promotion time comes around, when it's time to think who gets the leads, it's going to be the person who's talking the most, right? Not going to be the person who's quiet and you never hear from them and do they even still work here? Or if you want to pitch your company's product or whatever to a team of people, are they going to remember the one that really was very talkative and really pitched it, or the one that can barely get the words out? It's incredibly important. And a few other ways you can actually get better at being more talkative is just to get better at talking in general. Take a public speaking class. You probably have them at your local community college. Start learning another language. This will absolutely help you with just changing the way that your relationship is with speaking, because now you're going to actually like speaking English. You're going to feel much more comfortable speaking English after you try and learn another language. I mean, when I first started learning, so I'm Serbian, but like I kind of didn't know Serbian growing up. And my speaking in English got significantly better as I started learning Serbian, because I was like, oh, I can speak in English again. I can speak faster and smoother. And another thing is how to get better at speaking just in general is to record yourself speaking and listen back. Do the analysis. You've been speaking your whole life. Has it improved? No, you have to actually do the analysis, and that's when you get better. So you record yourself speaking, or you listen to, if you can record a phone call with whatever it is, if you can actively record yourself and listen back to it, that'll improve your speaking drastically. Try recording yourself a little video diary or blog or whatever only for you to see for 10 days, 3 minutes a day. By day 5, you'll be shocked at how much better you speak, not only on the camera, but in person as well. At the end of the day, group conversations, public speaking, it's just a one-to-one conversation, but you have less time to get the things out, so you have to just be a little bit better. But you practice by speaking one-on-one to people or alone and practicing it. If you can take these tips, it will drastically improve the way you kind of go about doing your speaking and being more talkative. It has drastically improved it for me. And I used to be someone who was very actually quiet, very quiet. And I'm still, I would say, not all the way there. I still want to be significantly more of a public speaker, significantly more talkative, even though I'm very actually talkative at this point, but I still have a long way to go. And it's probably a never-ending process, but I look forward to seeing your progress. If this video helped you out, check out another one of the videos. Thank you for the time.